So here I am again. I intended to video yesterday, but I thought, I'll video just kind of give you what I'm doing here. This is kind of an interesting project. I came here, there's a 4230. You guys watched the video on it last year. I did the steering on it. I resealed the oil cooler today and put a new starter in it. And I got to make a hose for it, so it's not quite ready yet. But he's got this New Holland. This is that 8360 that remember it wouldn't back up, and we put the wires were busted on this position sensor. We put a new position sensor on it, and then we rewired it to the shift solenoids and stuff, and got all that working. Now it goes backwards and forwards and shifts and everything. But anyway, Jim wants this, now that it's working, the tractor's working, he wants to mount this mower, this side mower on it. So I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do to get that mower on it. This is a Bamford Turner mower, side mower. See the boom that comes out to the side. So here's where your hitch arms. So what they had here, anyways, before the wonderful GoPro camera the wife's actually picking me up a new camera right now. I had a GoPro 7 that was awesome. Never had any trouble with it. Used it for years, a couple of years I had that thing. Then I've had 3 of these 8s and then I had the Hero, whatever the hell it's called. And she's up there getting me another camera right now. But these 8s are the biggest piece of shits ever made. I mean, they just automatically shut off for no reason at all. Then you got to restart them, and then they freeze up on you because the batteries are junk. And anyways, what I was saying, this runs off your drawbar, obviously your PTO shaft, and then so what we got to do here, as you can see, they had a plate on this tractor, on this right rear final axle housing, bolted on here. So we took that plate off, and what we're going to do is the same thing they did. Those arms actually come in and they hook in right below this, is the way it's made. So we might have to change our drawbar and move it back and forth, which is no big deal. I can take my mag drill and drill another hole in that drawbar and get it set perfectly for that application, because that came off of John Deere, 7000 series John Deere. So your geometry and your measurements are going to be a little different. I figured out where my drop is here. I want about 7 inches. So I got to make a plate. I took that plate off for a bolt pattern. So I got to build a plate, and I'm going to build one out of a little bit heavier iron. See how thick they got this? We're going to build a plate, and same kind of setup with this bolt pattern here on the bottom. We don't need this. This hole wasn't doing anything anyway, but we just basically need this and maybe some 1-inch plate, and then we can do the same kind of thing here as I did here. And basically, you're just building a triangle with a pin in it, and then the back end, you hook that up. There's a couple keepers that go over that, but anyways, I got to build that for this guy. But we got to go up and look at a 4960 that might end up pulling the injection pump on it. And then I got a 1075 New Holland bell wagon that doesn't have any steering, and I'm thinking either the pump for that went bad or the priority valve for the steering stuck, which is in the pump on those. So you got to drain the tank to do that on those. So we got some buckets there. Plenty of stuff to do. Plenty of stuff to do. Okay. I'll be back with you on the 4960 up there. Well, we got all kinds of iron sitting around there. Oh, look at the little bunny rabbit there. You got a little jackrabbit sitting there underneath that scraper. That's a Cat 633 scraper. Pretty cool. Got a 310E backhoe. There's the 710B we worked on last year for him, that we had the boom cylinder and everything. Main boom cylinder was leaking real bad. We fixed that for him. He's been using the hell out of it, he says. And there's a 4230 with that. Has that got the hydraulic front end on it? Those were absolute garbage. Yes. Yeah, these had that hydraulic motors on the front end, and they were, what a piece of shit these things were. I'm not running your tractors down, Jim, but the 40, had a customer that's got a 40. So anyways, as the wind was blowing and screwing the audio up, I got a customer with a 4640 that's got this hydraulic front end, and they're just always something wrong with that thing. They're always leaking. They just don't have the power that just a drive line and a ring and pinion type setup does with a mechanical front wheel drive system. But anyway, what we're here to work on is this 1075 New Holland bell wagon. This is this hauls the small bells. Well, there's guys that put big bell, what they call a mill stack bell loader for big bells on there, but that's a whole different subject. But anyways, he's doing small bells, 320, 120 pound bells, roughly like that. But anyways, it's got a Cessna gear pump. The newer bell wagons will have they're fancy. They're a lot fancier than new bell wagons are. They have a huge valve block on the side of the machine, and it has a variable displacement, pressure compensated pump on there that has a load sense system on it. So these are pretty simple. They just had an old gear pump, a Cessna gear pump on them, and it ran right off the front of the crankshaft. And there was a pressure line that went right up to the steering motor. There was no valve network between the pump and the steering motor, and then whatever return came back to the steering motor through the return line. And there's a little block back there that's a return manifold, and then it goes up to a port that says tank on it, so it's pretty obvious that it's to return. It's actually labeled tank. So I'm just tracing the lines out because I'm trying to do my due diligence to make sure that the pressure line hasn't kinked or something like that that's causing some kind of issue. I found the pressure line had been brazed in one area. But something that was very interesting on this machine I found that I didn't mention in the video. The owner showed up and we got to talking about other things, and I had lost track of what I was doing on the video. It has the Cessna gear pump has a priority valve, and if you don't know what a priority valve is, a priority valve actually prioritizes the flow to steering and brakes. If your pressure gets low enough, there's usually a spring-loaded spool in there that when the pressure gets low enough, it'll shove the spool over to prioritize all the oil flow to the brake system and steering system. Well, what's interesting on this, there's two Allen plugs. The spool can slide in either direction on this pump housing, and somebody had I didn't realize it when I first tore it apart until I started thinking about it. And I said, shoot, somebody had this apart and put the spool in the wrong side of the housing with the spring on the wrong side of the housing, and it was prioritizing all the flow to the hydraulic side instead of the steering side. That's why he only had hydraulics and he had no steering. Because if it was in there correctly, it would have pushed the spool the other way and prioritized all the flow to the steering instead of the hydraulics. So I even actually, with this thing running, I didn't show it on the video, I took the pressure line clear off and it wasn't hardly pumping anything, and I knew right then, I said, that priority valve is closed. It's not pushing any oil out of there. So, and it's a typical aluminum housing pump. It doesn't take much foreign material in the oil to wipe out the entire pump on an aluminum housing pump. The bushings where the shafts go get a little wear in them, so then the gear starts walking sideways and gets into the housing. And a cast iron pump's a little bit more forgiving and it'll last a little longer. These aluminum pumps are less than to be desired. Sorry, I lost half the clip there because the wife's picking up brand new shit over there. I don't know what she said. Just get a camera. I don't know. I don't even know what to get. It's all fucking junk. There it goes. Okay. What the hell's that on there? It's a tapered shaft. Alright, so we gotta pull this pump apart and see what the hell's going on with it, huh? I gotta see if I got a socket that's gonna fit that. Alright, 7/16" 12 point. There's the key out of the pump. Hammer's over there, I'm gonna need that. I don't know why that one don't want to come in there. Okay, let's start. Doweled on there. The wear plate. It's coming up against all this crap on the end of the shaft seal. It's a one section pump. This pump's shit. This pump is shit. Okay. It's junk. Surprised the other sections were working the way they are. I mean, it's worn out bad. Aluminum housing pump, you know. But you can, I don't know if you can see all the wear. It's got a ridge right here. A great big ridge where the gears have gotten into. It's garbage. It's garbage. This pump is absolute garbage. Yeah, see, still doesn't quite explain why there's no oil coming out this port. I don't really understand that. You know what? It must not had enough pressure to shift that spool over on the priority valve. That's what the deal is. It didn't have enough pressure to shift that spool over, because that pump, it's just completely hammered. Yeah, it's garbage, absolute junk. When you see all the heat marks and see how it's all torn up right here, look at the groove right here. See how this is all torn up here? This should be smooth as a baby's ass right there. You can see your priority valve right in there. That's the reason it just didn't have enough oil pressure, I think, there to shift that spool over against spring tension. Alright, well, let's go down and look at the 4960. Well, we know what we need to do here. Can you see that in there? Let's get it out here in the daylight. See all the scarring in here? See the big ridge worn in it right there? I mean, it's just slap ass worn out. Junk. Okay, well, I'll go look at the 4960. It's got a leak on it, and then Reading fuel injection, I guess, went through the pump, and it's never run right since they messed with it. So we're going to look at the pump and try to see what's going on there. Alright guys, here's that MXM 175 that had the, there's an eye up here that runs this position sensor. See how the axe, I don't know, I'll show you here in a minute, but see, this has got a hydraulic cylinder right here. Basically what it works on a cantilever type setup. That cylinder should raise the tractor up off the front axle. And it's sitting down on top of the axle because this is all screwed up. So I don't know if the position sensor failed and it overextended and caused this. I'm not sure yet. They didn't have the eye, but they had the sensor. Please don't break. It's not feeling very good, I'll tell you that. It must be Loctited because they're both feeling kind of the same way. Is that rod? I think, is that bent? I can't really tell if that's bent too or what. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Right in the dirt. Right in the dirt she goes. Man. I got the air conditioner working and I got the leak fixed back there on it. I noticed it was sitting on the front axle. And the guys, of course, his guys, you know, the owner, he didn't know. These guys run 2 or 3 different businesses and they're just always on the go. And of course, they got these employees, and it doesn't really seem like they really care too much, to be honest with you. Alright, so there is no bolt in this one hole that they got here. We got to pull the clip and the arm off of there and put it on the new sensor. I'm just kind of curious to fire it up and see if I can get it to do anything with the new sensor on there, you know. That's what I'm wondering. It appears to be the correct one. Okay, I need like an 8mm. Let's get this clip. Okay, so it's like that right there. Get 8mm here. Not really sure which way it's supposed to be. Most position sensors are spring loaded one direction. I don't feel any spring left in this one. I'm sure the way it pulled all the guts out of that eye that it had to really not be good for the sensor. I gotta go put a PTO shaft seal on a 4640 here a little bit. I didn't plan on doing that today, but Josh is a good dude. We're gonna try to get him taken care of. Just to make sure I get this orientated the right direction here. So there's 2 holes in this sensor here. Alright, so there that is. Where's the little nut at? Don't need to go too crazy with that and smash it down. So now this definitely, let's see which way it's spring loaded here, huh? Spring loaded that way. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about just leaving that loose for now, leaving the clip off of it even, and just bolting it back up and plugging it in. Let's see if anything changes. Alright, well I beat that eye closed, got the pin through it, and got the E-clip here on the lever, and I actually took, it wasn't making any sense. This was bent, this arm, I straightened it out, and then this was way off, and I thought, man, somebody's had this off or apart. I said, this is on the wrong side of the arm. So now it looks like it's lined up way better than what it was. So this swivels, and there's something missing here. You can see a threaded, there's something that holds this, I think, up there against that axle, or this, whatever the hell this is, this turnbuckle. I'm afraid that wire is going to get over there into that rod. So I'm going to have to do something there. But I'm going to go test drive it a little bit. I'm not going to go too far with it. I got to get in the book and find out what the parts book and find out what's missing on that. There's something that's got to hold that wire. And I got the eye for the pin ordered. So, but it's nice to know that we don't have to go any further back. So I was reading about this thing, and you can take, at certain speeds, you can lock it out. So if you want, you know, draft control, and you don't want anything affecting, you know, a critical draft control back here, you can lock it out. But anything above 12 kilometers per hour, it automatically engages, whether you've got the lockout switch turned or not. Let's go driving around a little bit, huh? This old tractor's seen better days. It's still raised up, I guess. I think you would have been been able to really feel that thing banging on that axle. You know, I mean, basically the whole frame of the tractor is sitting on the axle. You know, and then when you get on something uneven, that axle's got to do that, you know. Well, it can't. If it's frame of the tractor sitting on it, the whole tractor's going to be doing that. You'd have think them knuckleheads would have figured out that something was wrong there, but you see, it's moving now. I can see the axle moving independently from the frame. Let's just get out and look at her real quick. I like this MXMs, these early ones like this, because they just had a shuttle and a handbrake for a park brake. They didn't have that EPL on them. I don't like those EPLs. Not as high. It's still off of it, but it's not as high as it was. Probably get the ride height. I don't know, there's an adjustment on that rod too. I see it's got quite a bit of thread. You can probably set your ride height pretty much where you want it. These guys don't take, well, they do when the owners see the tractors. They take pretty good care of them, but the employees of this outfit, they're pretty bad. They don't watch nothing or take care of anything until it's totally screwed up. It's good for me. It's not good for the people's checkbooks that have to pay the bills. I got this for now. I'm gonna run down to put a PTO shaft seal on a 4640. Well, I backed this before. I didn't show it, you know, because the oil dripped on the ground, so somebody would probably have a fit, so I just didn't even show it. Anyhow, I backed it up over here and drilled some screws in it, popped that seal out, and walk over here, drove it back over here. Got all my shit put up, so I'm just gonna see if it's leaking. 4640, this one's got a quad shift in it. Some guys, oh, those are the junk, John. These are the good transmissions. The power shifts are good transmissions in these too, but these here, you don't hardly ever have to touch them. Ever, you know. So far so good. There's nothing dripping out of there now. I dried her all off. Okay, well, we'll see if he's happy with that. Alright, upwards and onwards. Guess I'll head to, I ordered all them parts for that John Deere Gator. I was gonna go over there and do that, but they didn't. So they got the right front strut, and they got the crankshaft seal, but they couldn't get the maintenance kit, you know. Kind of unbelievable. You can get all these hard parts, but you can't get an oil filter. I had a buddy the other day, he went to, well, my renter Steve, he called me and he said, hey, you got an oil filter for my 7.3 Power Stroke? I said, yeah, I got a couple of them 7.3 oil filters here in the parts room. He says, well, you realize how much money that thing's worth? I said, what do you mean? He said, I can't get one. I said, I might have a few parts down here people can't get. That I've been hoarding. Anyway, that's where we're at. We can't get a damn oil filter. Well, the other day I came over here and I pulled the, I wanted to make sure that's what the, where the leak was that crankshaft seal right there. And there's definitely where most of the leakage is coming from, is that little sucker. So, because, you know, I mean, if the pan was leaking, it would be, I would think it would be wet from here down. But see how it's kind of washed clean right around the bottom of this crankshaft seal. So I got one. I got to pull the belt off, and I got a front strut. Ugh. This front strut's bad, you can tell. Well, the oil has leaked out of it, and I don't know how much of a John Deere Gator mechanic I am, but we'll see what happens. Kind of brake cleanage. Brake cleanage. Okay, what do we got here? We got a wife's all upset. We got one of the dogs killed a cat, one of her cats, so she's all upset right now. It's not a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but all I'm going to say is I'm not a big fan of cats anyway. Didn't bother me as much as it bothered her, but well, I can't tell her that. But the cat was really kind of a sweet cat, kind of a bum deal. Oh, it came with both of them, huh? Okay. Guess we'll change both of them. You don't just get one of them, you get them both. Guess we'll look and see if that's the right rigmarole. There's that plastic cover that goes over that belt and pulley and all that stuff there. I guess I gotta get the tire off, obviously. And how does it clamp down over here? just kind of a tube that it cinches down on, huh? Cool. Cool. Alright. That means the windshield's gonna have to come out. What should I do first? The strut. I had to get all this as we could get there. You know, they got all the strut and the crankshaft seal and all that stuff. They couldn't get a maintenance kit for it. I'm not making this up, man. I'm not making it up. Should come off, right? Yeah. And the gas cylinders are obviously worn out, so the window's not going to stay open. Cool. A pair of vice grips. As much done as we can get done, I guess. I'm going to be going out of the area to work on some equipment for a while. It's going to be kind of I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going clear to Wyoming because it pays really good, and it's almost like kind of a vacation too. I really talked to my wife about this. She's going to go with me, and it's almost like getting away from here too. You know, it's almost like going to be a vacation for us. Trying to remember where those went. Shit, where did that go? Did that go down in there? This old girl needs quite a bit of work on it. And then you gotta take these. These loose here. What the hell's the deal here now? Let me see. This is what they run around and check their cows with and stuff, is this thing. I think Kawasaki's making these, is who's making them for John Deere. No, John Deere ain't making them. How's this come up here? Is there a handle here or something? A release? Hey. Okay, so where is the... I thought that would expose the part that I'm looking for. Oh, it's up under here. I gotta take this off. That's gotta come out of there. Is that just kind of sitting in there or what? It's bolted down somewhere, huh? Maybe not. Okay. Well, there's the top of that strut right there. Maybe this won't be too bad, huh? Okay, let me zip the wheel off. I'm not going to hear all the nonsense with jack stands about this little bitty gator, so I jacked this thing up 2 days ago and it's still off the ground, so one of those like 17. Yeah, I wonder what size that. Same size, maybe. I'm gonna turn the whole thing, or and it started to come loose. Get up there towards the top, stopped. What can a guy hold that with? There's something here flat on it, or am I gonna have to hold it? Son of a bitch. You're not gonna hold that chrome rod from turning. There's gotta be a way to hold that thing. Is there a flat somewhere? Let me look at one of the new ones there. You got this little deal. Oh, there's a flat right here, kinda. But you can't get on it. I don't know. Let me see what I'm gonna do here. Just almost certain that you're not gonna hold that chrome rod from turning. You son of a bitch, you. Come on, battery. I got her. Hell, I ain't scared of you, you son of a bitch. Scared of you. Okay. What do you think about that? I'm gonna Gator Learning Experience 101, huh? So, 13mm. Zip those loose and see if we can maybe get the piece of shit out of there. Has it got a flat or anything over here to grab it with and turn it? Why couldn't they put like a hex on here? Jack-a-mamies, you know? Jack-a-mamies. Jack-a-mamie jack-offs. So what I need a bar. Pop that out. Yeah. Here. Well, how is that possible? Is it the tie rod that's holding me up? Okay. What if that's that must be the tie rod that's holding me up versus the sway bar. Won't let the A-arm go down any further. Yeah. So I pulled the sway bar link and the tie rod in loose to get it off there where I can do something, and it comes out pretty easy. Okay, we'll get the new one. Ow, that was definitely shot. All the oil's gone out of it. Okay, if I don't get this bar in my way now. Comes with new hardware here. This piece on top. Does it come with a new rubber here? I don't see that in the box. The bag here. Better go look in there and see if there's one in there, huh? So it comes with that piece and a new nut there. Where are there 4 nuts on it? Is there one for the tie rods and stuff, or what's the deal here? So that's going to be the nylock nut that goes on it. So there's going to be okay, so that must be a tie rod situation there, is what that is, I'm guessing. Must be. 2 of the nuts have like an orange looking nylock shit in there, and the other 2 have like gray looking shit. Is one coarse threaded and one fine threaded? What's the deal here? Okay, that's what the deal is, it looks like to me. And they're different size too, so that's got to be the one that goes there though. Yeah, I don't think that one's going to go on there. No, there's some kind of different thread shit going on with that, so I'll have to figure out what the deal is with that. But this one rubber piece here, they did not. I'll go look in there and see, but I didn't see that or that in there. Let's go look again, make sure. Maybe they're back in here somewhere. No, they did not give you that piece with that. That's kind of screwed up, huh? Alright, well, I guess we'll reuse these. Take that off of there and go like that, and that'll go like that. And then she's ready to go back in. It puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again. Couldn't believe my mom hadn't seen Joe Dirt. I showed her that old movie, Joe Dirt. Couldn't believe she'd never seen that. One of the nylock nuts is seem to have disappeared here. You're Joe Dirt. Something. What the hell's going on here? That is different. That is different. That nut goes right there. I am missing a nut. Son of a bitch. I don't know what the hell happened to it, huh? Should have been laying right here. Find another. Golly, it's probably going to be. One of them must be SAE and the other one must be metric. God dang, where in the hell did that go? That really sucks. Okay, well, I can put that on later, but I have to put that on right now. Tie rod on there. That must be what that other nut fits right there. The one with the gray looking shit in it. It's probably tight enough for that. Yeah, that situation. Okay. Let's see, what do I gotta do here? Do I need to get my bar? No, I gotta get a nut up on top of this thing. What is the situation here? I gotta get it. You got that one in there, man. That wasn't too bad. Or did I tighten it up too much? Because look how much thread's sticking out on that one in comparison. Is that right? I mean, I would think that you would want that to come up against that. I don't know, I'm going to leave it like that. Alright, I gotta find another nut for this damn thing. I don't know what the hell happened to it. Okay, so I got that done on this side. So here's my decision. I was sitting there thinking about this, and a lot of this kind of stuff that I've been thinking about lately, because it's, you know, this thing's going to get really bad in this country with getting parts. And anything that you can conserve that's normally, I would say, let's change both of them. That other side, there's nothing wrong with it. And right now with our parts thing, if you got a good part, you better use it. And use it till it's completely shot, and then put the good one on. That's my thinking. Because you're probably not going to get another one. So I think we're going to save this one and run this one out until they say this one starts leaking oil, and we'll change this one. But you can tell a big difference. See how this one's nice and dry looking? And see how the rod is nice and shiny? Look at this one here, the rod's all scuffed on it. Well, it's kind of scuffed where I was holding it with a pair of pliers there, but it's flaked right here. I mean, it's just coming apart. So anyway, put the tire on this. That part will be done. We can close this back up. And then, let's put this back together. I gotta go in the shop. I'm wondering, Dave might have had a set of filters for this damn thing somewhere. I'm gonna go look. I see the bolt for the adjuster is gone out of the alternator. Okay, so we'll have to tighten that up. Or get a bolt and tighten that up when we go back together. Let's see what we got. This is rubbing on the coolant hose. That's not good. It's almost rubbed a hole in that coolant hose right there. It's laying down on the shaft. I got new boots for these shafts too, which I'm not even sure how these, so it's got a pillow block bearing here. Take this out. It looks like you probably have to pull the seats and all that shit out of there to drag it out of there so you can get it apart. It's got them special clamps, and I don't have the tool for that, but Okay, I guess we'll get the seal out of here. Let me see, what's the hinge bolt on the alternator on the bottom look like? What does that look like? It's threaded. It's way down in there where it's real fun to get to.